In this video, we're going to go over some bike handling skills. We're going to talk about scanning, or looking around when riding forwards. Scanning is a technique to master that allows you to keep watch on what's happening around you, not just in front, but also to the sides and back behind you too. Scanning is an important skill to master, especially when you're approaching intersections or when you're about to turn and change direction. To get used to scanning, it's important to practice your balance in a safe and protected area. To practice scanning and riding straight, you'll need to ride with one hand off the handlebars and get used to turning to look behind you while keeping your bike riding straight. It can be tricky on a bike to keep your front wheel straight while turning your head, because when you turn your head to look behind you, your arms usually want to turn with the handlebars too. So be sure to practice riding straight while looking back. When we are checking or scanning behind us, which shoulder do you think you want to look over? Our right shoulder or our left shoulder? Well, if we're concerned about traffic coming up from behind us, cars are usually approaching on the left side. So we want to make sure we're looking over our left shoulder. When we get to an intersection and before we turn, we want to first scan behind us to see if any traffic is coming. Then we'll signal to make our actions known. Then we'll scan a second time to make sure it's safe to turn. So the sequence is scan, signal, and scan. When you're scanning or looking behind you, try to make eye contact with drivers and other people around you to make sure they see you. It's very important to use hand signals whenever possible, but if you do not feel safe taking your hand off the handlebars to signal, you don't need to, and you can instead say turning left, turning right, or stopping. But if it's not safe to turn, don't panic, don't turn. You can always tap your brakes and slow down and come to a stop before you decide it's safe to turn. Even if you're not turning, scanning is also important when you come to intersections to make sure that people see you and recognize that you are continuing straight. So what do? We find a safe place to practice turning back, signaling, and turning back again. It's about scan, signal, scan.